Betty Lou, we're going to dust off the YourTV chili pot and get ready for the chili cook-off. Thanks for joining us today. Some of Canada's most well-known and successful musicians are lined up for a fundraiser this Saturday for the new West Niagara Secondary School. Grimsby Secondary Principal Matt Miller is here to bring us the details. How did you line up Stephen Page, Glenn Milcham from Blue Rodeo, Tom Wilson? It was kind of surprising to see the A-list of talent.
Yeah, it was surprising to me too. I'm not a concert promoter by trade, so this was a new bit for me. The honest answer is just I asked them. You know, we presented the case of how important the arts are to the community and to our school, and how it could really become a hub for the arts in West Niagara. And you know, all these people just said yes, and there's nothing in it for them other than the good they're doing for, you know, the theater itself.
You have Maeve Davis lined up, a local musician. We've had her on The Source a couple of times, but more importantly, you have a young man from Grimsby Secondary School, a grad, who will have a feather in his cap after performing with this A-list group.
Yeah, Braden Doucette is very talented. He graduated from GSS last year. He's a West Lincoln resident, and we're very proud of him. I wouldn't have asked him to do this if I didn't think his talent would sit him right amongst the big ones, you know, and he's a very talented singer, guitar player. And, you know, you just hope, like we do every day at schools, to give students opportunities. And I know he'll take good advantage of this one. He's very good.
Is he a little nervous with this opportunity?
I think the fact that he's able to do it ahead of time and have a couple of runs at it decreased the nerves for him, but he's done a ton of shows locally back when we were able to do that, both at the school and in the community. So he's a pretty seasoned performer. He's also a mentee of one of our other performers, Melo. Brian is working with Braden just around the whole music business and figuring out what to do, because he's looking at it as a career.
And Brian Melo, a former Canadian Idol, correct?
Correct, yeah. And today, Mark Lalama signed on as well as being a supporter of this event and is going to participate. So he has a new jazz duo called Dizzy and Faye, who are going to be performers as well. We've had a pretty steady stream of new artists jumping on board ever since we announced.
Sounds great. Now, let's get this straight here. This is a fundraiser for the theater at West Niagara Secondary School. How much do you need to raise as a group for this theater?
The board has put in $4.2 million of its own money in order to get this theater approved. And there's a fundraising gap of about $2.6 million that we have to raise over time. That doesn't mean we have to have it before approval will occur, but what we need to show is evidence that we have an active fundraising organization. And our committee, this is by far not just me doing this at all. We have a great committee of people who are giving their own time to make this theater come to life, and have really demonstrated a very active fundraising group, I think, so far.
What is the timeline for the opening of that new school? How are things progressing for the three schools merging into one?
Things are progressing well. So South Lincoln has closed, and we get all the great students from West Lincoln here at Grimsby Secondary, and they're some of our best students. They're excellent students, and we love working with the community of West Lincoln just as much as we do Grimsby. And Beamsville District Secondary is still open and serves the town of Lincoln. There is some cross-pollination in terms of different programs that students go to from each community. But we're going to open our new school in 2022, more than a year and a half before we open, and construction will start very soon. Tenders are out, and we'll be pouring foundation when the weather warms up.
Matt, the concert online this Saturday, March 20th, 7 p.m. How do people get tickets?
There's a Facebook event, West Niagara Secondary School Theater. You can go to the West Niagara website, which is westniagara.dsbn.org. And there are links there that lead you to an Eventbrite page where you can pay for a ticket.